Okay, so I think we are live. It is just a little after 7 Eastern. So we are going to get started. So happy Sunday, everybody. I am National Sales Director Diane Mentiply, and welcome to Hustle and Heart Pacesetters. So let me just check in to our Facebook group and make sure. Oh my goodness. So we have several people that are still being added into the group. So hold on, bear with me for just a minute. Okay, let's just get everybody confirmed. Okay, all right, so let's get started. So you guys, in these next 4 sessions, we have 4 weeks that we are going to spend together. We are going to hustle to grow our individual businesses. All right. So we are going to take you from where you are right now, and we are going to go much bigger. Are you with me? But we are going to do it with the heart of Mary Kay at the center. And that is why I'm calling this Hustle and Heart, because we are going to hustle, but we are going to do it the right way. So who is ready to transform their business this year? From wherever you are to wherever you want to get to, who is ready to transform their business? I want you to scream out loud, even if it scares your family or whoever's in the next room, and just say, I am ready. I am ready to transform my business. Now, here's the other thing. In Mary Kay, we stand in the gap for each other. We support each other. We lift each other up. But there comes a time when you know who you need to stand in the gap for. It's yourself, and make things happen. So who's ready to start standing in the gap for themselves and make things happen? Say, I am ready. Say, I am ready. And you guys, we have a hashtag in our area, and it's called GSD. And GSD, you can say it means get stuff done, or it means get you know what done, right? It's hashtag GSD, because you are going to start standing in the gap for yourself. Now, who is ready to stand in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the mirror with conviction and pointing your finger and saying, you hold the key? Because you guys, you hold the key. The person looking back at you in that mirror is the one who holds the key to everything. So who is ready to finally say, you know what? You hold the key. Say, I am ready. Say, I am ready. Because yes, you are ready, and you do hold the key. You know, your success is not because of the company and what they promote or what they do. Your success is not because of your sales director. It's not because of your unit. It is not because of your national sales director. Your success is not because of the products we sell. It is because you, it's who you choose to be. It's how you choose to think. It's what you choose to do. And it's how consistently you choose to do it. And we're going to talk about consistency a little bit. But you are the one, you guys. You get to decide the life that you want to live, the business you want to build, the future you want to create, and the legacy you want to leave. And you guys, we don't have to create our best life using Mary Kay as the vehicle. We get to. You know, I don't need to. I want to. I believe with all my heart that Mary Kay is the vehicle to everything that you could possibly want in your life, and you're the vessel. And I am so grateful for the life that I get to live, since ordering my starter kit. And it's been 14 years for me, you guys, of what I consider to be pure amazingness. But let me define pure amazingness for you, because that doesn't mean it's been a celebration the entire journey. Yes, I had obstacles, but see, it's not about the size of the obstacles. It's about the problem-solving muscle that you grow in the process, because the bigger the obstacle, the greater the reward. Yes, people said no to me. People still say no to me. In fact, lots of people said no to me, and lots of people still say no to me. But no simply means next. You know, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Yes, people quit along the way, but not me, not you, or you wouldn't be tuning in. I'm not a quitter, and you're not a quitter. When I set a goal, I'm like a dog after a bone. And guess what? I like it. I'm proud to be a dog after a bone. I'm proud to have a work ethic. I'm proud to decide that I control my life and I get to design it the way I want to live it. Yes, I had naysayers. How many of you had naysayers, right? But I was making decisions based on different information and experiences. And so my thought process was, unless they're going to pay my bills, they don't get to be negative and speak into my life. You know, you guys, think about it. I remember my very first commission check was $84.27 as a consultant, $84.27 for an entire month. Now, granted, none of my commissions include sales profits, but that was my commission check from the company. My very first check as a full-time sales director was $2,774. My income, my very first year as a sales director, from commissions and bonuses, not including sales, was $94,362. My income, my very first year as a national sales director, $191,482. My highest monthly check to date in 1 month is over $31,000. So you guys, none of those figures include profits from sales. I am so grateful and I am so blessed that I never listened to naysayers and I never got caught up in my $84 commission check, because I would be missing out on the life that I've been able to create and provide to my family and to women that I'm able to mentor and coach to show them that they can too. So you guys, you can too. I encourage you, don't listen to people who think you're doing more than others may think is wise for the money you've got right now, because you are building a business, and that is what entrepreneurship is all about. And that is what makes us so different from a W-2 company. And you guys, yes, I had failures, but see, it's not about whether you fail. It's about whether you're content with your failures. Champions get back up, and success, it's a culmination of fail. You win, you fail, you win, you fail, you fail. It's a test, because that's how you're sharpening your edge and you're growing. Champions always get back up. So I don't know where you are right now, but I'm assuming that where you are is not where you want to be, and that you want to get better and you want to get sharper and you want to do something more, and you are excited that you get to, not that you have to. So if you are on a mountaintop, then I say keep climbing and high five yourself, okay? But if you're in a valley, I applaud you for getting in here and participating in Pacesetters, whether you're in my national area or not. Because see, here's the thing. It's only dark until it gets light, and without darkness, there would be no such thing as light. So don't quit. If you're financially strapped, your answer is sitting in the palm of your hand. And it may not be paying you what you need right now, but what I know without a shadow of a doubt is if you coach, and I do mean you coach, and no hide and seek with your director, right? Hide and seek is she texts you or she emails you or she calls you and you don't respond. That's what I mean by hide and seek, right? So if you coach with your sales director, I am 150% confident that she can guide you into greatness. Now, let me also say that none of my success has happened simply because of desire. It was because of right actions. It was because of wrong actions. It was because of failures and successes that transformed me along the way. And recently, I heard someone speak, and she talked about consistency. And, you know, she said that consistency is probably the least sexy word in the dictionary, yet it's the foundation to all of our success. We have to be consistent. You know, your business is not going to grow and thrive if we're working it one day a week or one day a month, right? We have to make sure that our effort matches our goals. So see, if you schedule time to book, then you've got to book. You've got to be consistent. You've got to honor that commitment, right? Because here's the thing. If you break promises to yourself, then you will break promises to others. And see, so often we have trouble doing things for ourselves. If you can't do what you need to do for yourself, then my question to you is, Who is your why? Who? Is it your kids? Is it your spouse? Is it your family? You know, picture looking at them in the face and saying to them that you're not worth it. You just aren't worth it for me to work consistently for the results I need. And I don't know about you, but I never want my family or my husband or my children to think I never stepped into my power and my dream because of them. Your family and my family, they never asked to be our burden. So who is your why? And are they worth it for you to draw a line in the sand and decide that with Pacesetters, you are going to be consistent at whatever level makes sense for the type of business that you want to build? You know, my parents who were sick and dying, they passed away a couple of years ago now, and they were worth it to be with them, to provide the necessary financial support to them in a time of need as their lives were ending. They were worth it. My sister Debbie, who's been critically ill over the past year, she was worth it. Me being able to drop everything to be with her. Me being able to drop everything and hop in a car on a moment's notice, literally after receiving a phone call from my crying daughter who was living 7 hours away, that I could go there, be with her, provide emotional support, financial support on a dime without asking anybody. Me being able to solely financially support my family when my husband Ian was laid off from work, to relieve his burden. You guys, I could give you a list after list after list after list. Me being able to do what I get to do in Mary Kay, and to be able to provide my senior director who recruited me and who is a girlfriend of mine and who's 65. The income that she makes from me pays her mortgage. For me to have been able to provide her that financial security. So I ask you again, are you ready? Are you really ready to transform your business and hustle with heart to get to somewhere different? And if you are, say, I am ready. So you guys, let's talk for a couple minutes about some housekeeping things to get us going. If you have questions from this session, and you guys hold on 1 second while I hop back over and just see if we have anybody who needs to join us. Of course we do. Okay, let's get them in. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, you guys. All right, let's see. Did we get them that time? All right, I think so. Okay, so let's, whoops. Hold on, you guys. First night is always crazy. It's always crazy. Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right, I think we are good. Okay, so a couple of housekeeping items. So if you have any questions from the session as we go along, please post them to our Pacesetters Facebook group. Just post the questions under the link to this session so that your questions stay in the session that they're relevant to, okay? And my area sales directors will answer them along the way, or I will also go back when we finish the session and I'll review them once we finish tonight or early tomorrow morning and answer them as well, okay? And if you didn't notice already in the private group, I turned off anybody else being able to comment. And I previously, if you've done Pacesetters with me, I've never done that before. But what happens is with the volume of people that are participating, it is going to get a little crazy with commenting. And so I decided the best thing to do was to turn that off. So if you're wondering, that's why. Okay. And also, as we go along, feel free to shout out in the group, again, to the session that it's applicable to, you know, any ahas that you have or hear while you're watching, so that we know that something connected with you. All right. But hopefully you are cozy and you are comfy and you are caffeinated, and you have eliminated distractions for these next this next little bit that we are together. Okay. So let's talk about the voucher system. Some of you may have seen that I posted this week's voucher. And if you've not done Pacesetters with me, the voucher system is, well, essentially each week there is going to be a voucher that I post to our Facebook group. And each voucher will run from Sunday through Saturday, except this week it'll begin tomorrow, okay? With all the points being due by end of day Saturday. So this voucher, it starts tomorrow, and it's going to run through next Saturday at midnight Pacific time, okay? And that means that you need to submit your points. And there's going to be a Google form that will be pinned to our group. It's not there now, but you don't have points to submit until next Saturday, but it will be there before next Saturday. And so there will be a Google form that's pinned to the group. If you don't know what a pinned post is, definitely reach up to your sales director, because here's the other thing, you guys. It's super important when you have questions that you submit them to your sales director, because it's not just with the volume of people that are participating in Pacesetters, it's just not feasible for me to respond to emails and Facebook messages and Voxer messages and text and all that good stuff. I just can't manage the volume. So be sure that you're reaching up to your sales director, okay? But the form will be pinned, and your points can only be submitted using this Google form. And they must be submitted by midnight Pacific time every Saturday. Unfortunately, there are no exceptions. You know, there's a method to my madness. So you want to make sure you get them in. But if you look under the files tab in our Pacesetters Facebook group, you're going to see this week's voucher that I posted earlier. And, you know, and the voucher is simply filled with different tasks and point values for when you do these tasks. And they're designed to challenge you. Do you have to do the voucher? No. But I totally encourage you to, because it's going to give you guidance on what you should be doing each week to grow your business. And that's what we're here for, right? We want to transform our businesses. You want to grow your business. And here's the other great thing. There are going to be prizes. And, you know, usually with Pacesetters, there's a fee to do it with me. But we're not, and that fee has always contributed to the prizes. And, but we're not doing a fee. It is free. And so the prizes I'm going to do are going to be a little different this time, but it's not about the prize. It is about the growth. And so don't do it because you want the prize. Do it because you want to grow. Do it because you want to be the best. Do it even if there wasn't a prize, right? That you just want to excel and be your best. So at the end of the Pacesetters program, there will be prizes for top 10 consultants and top 10 sales directors, okay, that will receive prizes from me. So let's talk a little bit more about how you submit your voucher points. There are instructions that you'll see on top of the voucher. And essentially, you're going to print your voucher right away, and you're going to start tracking your points each week, okay? And you're going to tally them, because it's 2 pages, front and back, and you're going to tally them. And use a calculator just to be sure that you have no math errors when you're calculating your points, okay? Then you want to submit them to that Google Doc that I told you about, or the Google form. But you also take a picture of your sheet with your phone and text it to your sales director. Because here's the most important piece. Your points to me must be submitted, but it's equally important that you get them to your director. Because see, your director is the one who's going to be coaching you directly. And she needs to know what it is you're doing and how it is you're progressing. And your director may not in any way be connected to me, and that is okay. She is going to, if you're taking a picture of your voucher and you are sending it to her, she is going to be in sync with what's going on. Okay. So you guys, it's critical. It really is. And we're going to have 3 vouchers in total. We have 4 sessions, but we're going to have 3 vouchers in total. Okay. So here's the other thing. How you approach and participate in Pacesetters is going to be completely up to you. But what I can promise you is that your commitment to participate and to complete all the vouchers is really going to be critical to your success. Because see, we can learn, and sometimes we go and we participate in everything because we want to learn and we think we need to learn more. But we really have to do, and we have to apply. Because if we wait until we have it all figured out and we think we know everything, it's going to be a mistake. And the other thing, and let me just say, so often we think we need to hear from this person and that person. And, you know, we hear about this director and this national. You guys, you know what? You have everything you need. You have everything you need. I'm not the magic bullet. There's likely not a magic bullet you're going to hear in Pacesetters, but it's just going to, you might hear something a little bit differently. And I say that to you because there is a time when you have to stop wanting to learn and you have to start applying and doing. Because see, we become in the process. And when we're doing, the how shows up. And here's the other thing that I think is important for you to know. Don't quit. Like, don't quit, Pacesetters. Don't do 2 weeks and think, oh my gosh. Don't quit. If you're going to start, be a finisher. Because you see, things don't change if things don't change. And this is meant to challenge you, not because you're going to learn a whole lot of new stuff, but it's just going to get you motivated and inspired and excited. And it's going to get you doing the work that's going to take your business to the next level. It's a success track to run on. So I encourage you to fight for the finish in these next 3 weeks. And I know it takes courage. And I know some stuff it's going to, you know, that you've known that you need to do, because a lot of times we know what to do. We're just not doing it because we're fearful. So yes, it's going to take courage. Yes, it's going to take you overcoming fears. Yes, it's going to take you getting super good at time management. And yes, some of you are going to use the weekly plan sheet for the first time. I know. And yes, some of you are going to make some short-term choices for your success in these 3 weeks. But what I want you to know for sure is that we can do anything for a short period of time if it can change our future. I have done Pacesetter programs twice a year for several years. I don't even know how many years it is. It's probably 4 or 5 years. And for those who really commit to do the work, I see new sales directors come out of it. I see new car drivers come out of it. You guys, play to win. Don't play not to lose. Don't play it safe. Because see, growth happens outside your comfort zone. And always remember, talent counts once, but effort counts twice. Give me a willing person any day and I will partner with her for success. We have to be willing to roll up our sleeves and dig in. Work is required. Work is required. And it's so worth it, you guys. In these next 3-4 weeks, say no to the things in the short term and make tough choices so that you can say yes to the life that you want to live forever. So tonight we're going to dig in and talk about, being a little organized. We're going to start with planning. I know that's not a fun topic, but you've got to get really sharp and organized with your time, with the activity that you're doing. I think so often what we do is we kind of fly by the seat of our pants a little bit, and well, let me just say, have you ever found like you have notes and stickies everywhere and you have all kinds of, you might as well have stickies in your brain because you have all kinds of thoughts running around in there, and we become overwhelmed by it. I don't know if that's you, but I was like that. And I remember I had this little planner from the company, which is super cute and it might work for somebody. It definitely didn't work for me. As far as organization, for appointments and that, yes. But as far as planning, no, it didn't work for me. And that's two different things. Booking appointments and holding a schedule, one thing. Planning, whole nother ballgame. Okay. What I want to talk to you about is planning. I don't think we take enough time to plan our business and to plan our success. And so as a result, we have papers everywhere and we have all kinds of things. So I created a planner for sales for myself. And then I edited it in order to create it for sales directors. And then I've edited it in order to create it for consultants. It's free. There's no cost to it. But it's a document. It's not an physical planner that you can get from me, but it's something that's in a PDF that you can print and you can assemble yourself. You can do it in black and white. You can do it in color, whatever it is that you want to do. But I will tell you that I use it and it's life-changing. So I want to talk to you about what I have put together for consultants. Directors, if you're participating in my director Pacesetters, you'll have access to the director version. Okay. So told you about the voucher. Okay. So first of all, let me just tell you, you can use anything. You can use a 3-ring binder. You can just 3-ring hole punch it. It's 8.5 by 11 sheets. Or you can do, if you're familiar with the ARC system from Staples, this is what I use. This is what my planner's in. And I have 3 months in my planner at all times, 3 months. And and I'll go through the sheets with you so that you know about that too. Post-it has these little tabs that they're like dividers, but they're just little tabs and they stick. And so you can put them on the sheets. If you've never seen these, you put them on the sheets. And so you have your little tab and you can move the tab and all that good stuff. And so that is what I use for my planner. So I'm able to have some key pieces. I have a tab for the month. This is August, September, and October. I have a tab for this week. I have a tab for today so that I know what I can quickly open my planner and I can look at my month strategy. I can look at my week strategy, or I can look at my what's happening today strategy, 24 hours. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, every month as a consultant, there is a strategy. There's a sheet for front and back for the month strategy. And then there is also monthly tracking, a sheet, front and back, monthly tracking. And then every week, okay, you have the beginning of the month, and then every week there is a weekly planning sheet, front and back. And then every day has a planning for the day, front and back. Okay, so let's talk about when we look at the monthly strategy, what are we including? Well, the one thing in the monthly strategy and planning is our lessons. The first thing are lessons. What worked well last month in my business? What are areas of opportunity for this month? Have you ever finished a month and I'm not sure if you've looked back, but I think you can only move forward when you look back, because we have to learn from what we've done in order to be able to move forward effectively, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing but expecting a different result. And I don't think any of us are insane, nor do we want to repeat behaviors that maybe didn't serve us that well. And so we have to take the time to just think about that. What worked well? What didn't work well? What are areas of opportunity for the current month? The second piece in the monthly strategy and planning are personal faces and sales goals. You know, what are the number of faces you're going to see in the month? What is your personal wholesale goal? What is your personal sales goal? And I've structured it in such a way that personal sales goal of X so that I can have personal profit of Y. Because here's the other thing. We are not selling to simply place wholesale orders, okay? We are selling to grow our customer base and make a profit. And so I want you to be looking at that all the time, all right? Now, the next section of your monthly strategy and planning is career path. I currently have X active personal team members. Because see, part of growing your business is knowing your numbers. So I currently have X active team members. I will add X new personal team members this month. I will finish the month at this career path level, and you're going to circle which career path level. So we're correlating and we're understanding what it takes. And then the next piece of planning is Star Consultant Quarter. My STAR goal for the current quarter is what? And then the STAR quarter finishes on this date. My total wholesale I need to finish STAR is this amount. The number of new personal qualifieds this quarter is this amount. Why do we want to do that? Because you get your bonus points for qualifieds. And so all of this planning and strategy helps you to really master our marketing plan. Okay? The second page of strategy, it's going to have your personal team goals. And this may be something that you've not really looked at. And it's super important that we get in touch with what our teams are doing and really understand that. Because for those of you who want to grow on a leadership, take the leadership path and do your all 8 in with 8 and get into DIQ and come to San Diego, either as a brand new director or a DIQ, this is really going to serve you well to really get a grip on the team and really understand our marketing plan as to how you make money in your team. Okay? So the team, and actually, as I'm thinking, you guys, I'm writing myself a note. Okay. So the personal team, a team wholesale goal. Have you ever thought about your team and thought of, had a goal for what your team was going to be doing? Did you know that a red jacket team should be performing at least 2,000 wholesale, meaning you and your team members? Your team should be performing at a level of 2,000 wholesale or more a month. That should be the norm. And if you're a team leader and above, meaning you have 5 personal team members, right? 5 personal active team members, your team should be performing at a level of 4,500 wholesale or above. And how many of you have actually tracked that to know? So we're going to do that as part of this planner and as part of your monthly strategy, is getting in sync with that. Because as leaders, we know, and as women who are building an organization and growing a business, it's important that we know our numbers and we understand this. And so there's a section where you're able to estimate your team wholesale production. You list your current team members, you know their activity status, and you're in sync with that. And then what you estimate their wholesale production will be this month based on the kind of business they're building and what they're doing. And initially, your director may have to help give you some guidance in order that you grow the muscle. But I think this is an important muscle that we grow and we get in sync with, okay? The last piece that's in the monthly strategy is car tracking. And tracking yourself if earning a car is something that you want to do. You know, the anticipated total wholesale orders from you this month. The anticipated total wholesale orders from your personal team members this month. The anticipated wholesale orders from your new personal team members this month. And what I've given you is an estimate as to how I calculate that. So you'll see that in the planner. And then how you can figure it out and what the requirement is to be able to get on target for your car. And so you have that consistently in front of you so that you master it. Okay, so that's the monthly strategy and planning. And then there's a 2-page sheet for your monthly tracking. And again, you can tab it so that you can quickly every month go to your tracking. So every face you see, you're going to track it. On the back, you're going to track every interview. So I have enough faces, your personal faces, that you can track to 100 faces in a month. You could track to 100 faces in a month. Wouldn't that be awesome, right? But you know what? Some people may see less. Some people may see 20 faces. But there are women out there who they are chomping at the bit to live their best life and to not only live it for themselves, to be able to show others. And so guess what? They're willing to hold 5 parties a week of 5 people. 25 faces in a week is 100 in a month, right? So there's enough for you to track to 100 faces. And there are enough spots to track to 25 interviews. 25 interviews. All right. And if you find that you're doing more, then great. Just add a sheet in there. Okay. And then there's a place where you're tracking all of your new team members. Okay. So that's all part of the monthly tracking. So we have monthly planning and strategy. We have monthly tracking. And then every week you're going to, on a Sunday, all right. I believe Sunday night is the best night before you hit the ground running. Monday morning is you're going to do a weekly planning. And your weekly planning, it's going to include a couple of things. Number one, every week, what are your banner goals for the year? When you look at the year, what are your banner goals for the year? What are your top 3 goals for the month? What are your top 3 goals for the week? What are the 3 most important events that week? What are you grateful for from the prior week? What did you learn from the prior week? And then any other notes that you want to write for the week. Now, why do we do that on a weekly basis? Because every week you have to remind yourself what your banner goals for the year are. Are you completing the National Court of Sales, the National Court of Sharing, the Princess Courts? Are you earning a car? Are you debuting as a sales director? What are you doing as a consultant? What are your banner goals for the year? And then what are your goals for your top 3 goals for the month? Getting into DIQ, getting on target for car, getting your red jacket. Maybe it's, this is going to be the first month you're going to see 50 faces in the month. Maybe you're going to hold 10 parties. Maybe it's going to be 100 faces. Maybe it's going to be a 10-show week. Maybe you want to build momentum and you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so you just want to, instead of pulling the Band-Aid off a hairy arm slowly because that hurts, you are just going to rip it off and you are just going to get things moving, right? Maybe that's you. Whatever it is, what are your top 3 goals for the month? Okay, so that is your weekly planning. The other side of that page for weekly planning, and some of you may think this is silly, but I will tell you, busy people get things done because they don't fly by the seat of their pants. So the backside is, what is the weekly meal plan? What is the weekly meal plan? And what is my grocery list? Literally, I plan out what's happening for dinner Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I know what groceries have to happen. And I go online and I order my groceries from Whole Foods and they on Amazon Prime and they show up at my door 2 hours later. And I love it because you know what? I save money because I'm planning. I'm not going into the grocery store and being, sidetracked into buying this and that and things that I should not eat that are not on my diet because they're putting it in front of me. And sometimes I don't have self-control with that. I don't know if any of you can relate. And so when I do this, I'm very focused. I'm very structured and I eat when I'm supposed to and not when I'm not supposed to. Okay. So that's part of weekly planning. Then on a daily basis, you will see that there are different sections. I don't know if you can see that a little bit. So there's a section for your 6 most important things list. And then you're going to look at it, and I have enough blanks for 15 things. So 6 to 15, right? Because some days you might have more than 6. As you really learn to plan every day for the next day. So see, this doesn't mean you wake up in the morning and decide what it is you're going to do. When I am working, when I have decided that my day has ended, before I leave my office, and see, my office is set up in my house in such a way that I have one room. If you come into my house, you only see Mary Kay in one room. And that is my office. And I have 2 French doors that come into my office. And when I'm done working, I leave my office and the doors are shut and it's off. I do not leave my office until I have completed my next day. Why? Because it is fresh in my mind. I know what I've been doing and I'm ready to go. And in fact, throughout the week, I have each day set up for my 3 months with the date written in. And so as I'm working, I may say, oh, you know what? I should follow up with that in 2 weeks. I go 2 weeks ahead. And in the follow-up section, I write down to follow up. So my next day might have things that I've put in there from a week ago or a couple days ago that I'm going to follow up on, because there are different sections, the 6 most important things list, and and in the planning of the 6 list, there are 2 columns, time and ABC. Time, when I write down my 6 list, all the things I'm going to do tomorrow, in the time column, I write how long is that going to take? How long? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. I write the time for how long it's going to take. And when I do those tasks tomorrow, I take my phone and I set my alarm. I put my timer. I set my timer. If I said 10 minutes, my timer goes on 10 minutes. I try to beat my time so that I get it done before my timer goes off, because that's kind of my competitive spirit. And so I don't want to waste time. I just want to get it done. Get it done next. Okay. ABC column. That's where I look. If I have 8 things on my six list, I prioritize them. The most important is A, and then it goes B, C, D, E. So the first thing I'm going to do is A, and then B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever I have, so that I'm doing it based on the priority. So my timer causes me to work more efficiently and don't get distracted. And then my priority as to what has to be done first. Okay. So there's that section on my daily. The other section on my daily is personal, family, to do, because sometimes there are things that I have personally to do or family, and those are my reminders to get those things done. And then I have a section for to call, text, Vox, or connect. Those are the reminders that I want to put to myself for things that aren't in my calendar, but I just need to follow up with something. Okay. And it can be lots of different things. It could be, you know, gosh, I saw one of my consultants post about being sick. I want to remember to reach out to her. It could be something as simple as that. It could be to connect with somebody who's a prospect, and it's my reminder to follow up with her. And then there's a section for follow-ups and reminders. And those can be, you've got to figure out how it works best for you. Okay. But those are 2 different sections that are available to you on that daily planning. And then there's a section for health as wealth, because health is wealth. You know, we can work hard, and I've struggled with that myself, because I love this business. I am passionate about this business. And it was easy for me to just get caught up with people and not do what I needed to do for my own personal health. And I've really shifted my mind in this area, but it's something that I have to work on, but I am. And so I have the health is wealth, in order to monitor food choices on a daily basis, in order to monitor activity on a daily basis, and weight, because some of you might not worry about weight. I have to worry about weight. I have to see it go down. And so if I don't monitor it, it's not going down, right? Because we can't change what we don't acknowledge. And so this is important, I think, for everybody. And it doesn't even matter what you weigh. You might be a slim and trim size 0, but you know what? Health is wealth. What we put into our bodies matters. And the exercise that we have, it matters. And so that is all a part of the day-to-day, okay? And then the other part of the day-to-day that's on the back is what's for dinner. And then there's a scratch pad. And so scratch pad is what I use for notes to myself throughout the day. And then it's my reminder of what's for dinner, so that tomorrow when I wake up, if I need to, when I'm doing my planning, because I'm doing it the night before, right? So tomorrow when I wake up, I need to be sure that I've taken out for dinner whatever it is that we're having, right? Because I'm all about fast. And if I don't take something out and be planned, we're going to get something fast that's not healthy, right? And so all part of the plan, all part of the health as well. So I hope you are excited about getting really clear with your planning. And I hope you're excited about this. I hope you're excited to give it a try. It's one of the things on the voucher. And I will tell you that it has been life-changing. I don't get overwhelmed with things, because if it's on paper and out of my head, I'm good. It's got to be out of my head. And so it just keeps your goals in front of you. It keeps you organized, no more stickies. And if you are a yellow sticky person, because I'm like that, it really, you're going to have the urge of, oh, let me write it down. No, you've got to retrain yourself. Go to your planner and write it down. It can't go anywhere else. And so you are going to have your planner, and this is going to be the lifeblood of your business, and you are going to have your date book. Your planner and your date book. Your date book might be the Mary Kay date book, and that's totally fine. It might be your phone, however you do it. It's changed for me over time, okay? But I encourage you, start planning to create success. All right? Okay, so let's see. And I will have this posted to you tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. I will get it up to you. Okay, on the Facebook page. So let me check in real quick, make sure we have anybody else who is trying to get in. Okay, so let's see. We do have more people. Okay, hold on. Okay, everybody should be in. Everybody should be in. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So let's see. Jocelyn, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So you guys, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to dig in to lead generation. It's one of the first things that I always want to talk about, because I think sometimes we need to get more activity and get more action. And that means we need people to book. And sometimes that means we need more leads. We know that that we might have leads. We can go into our customer base. We can do lots of things like that. But sometimes we need to get some new leads in order to get some new activity and get things moving. And I know everybody is at different places in their business. They're seasoned, or maybe you're brand new. You could be a lot of different things. But what I know is that a lot of us need to get some leads. And so the woman you are going to hear from, Jocelyn Pond, is a rising star in Mary Kay. And she is part of the Leah Carta National Area. And I was talking to Leah, and we were talking about lead gen and talking about Pacesetters. And she said, oh my gosh, Jocelyn is on fire. She is like the queen of it all. And she is making things happen. And I thought, you know what? What better person to have on here with us but Jocelyn, in order that she could pour into you guys and share exactly what it is she's doing. Because isn't that one of the great things about Mary Kay? You know, we can be a copycat. We just have to copy the right cat. And so I think Jocelyn is the right cat. So Jocelyn, I am going to turn it over to you.
Hey, awesome. And Diane, just really quick, what's the time limit? Like, I've kind of put everything, but just so I can watch.
You have as much time as you need.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. So first of all, I just want to thank you for, asking me to hop on here. And I am so excited for Retreat to be in your personal space, because I personally, I have YouTubed you and watch you all the time. So I am so excited. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about lead generation today, because I am just beyond passionate about this. So when I first started my business, I was actually in the middle of moving. My husband was deployed, and so I was in the middle of moving back to Texas with a newborn baby and dogs. And I was like, if I want to start my business, I need to find new people, because I had nobody there. And you guys, when you're intentional with your lead generation, mixed with belief in you and consistency in your action, that is a formula for mass momentum and a successful, strong business. And so I hope that you have your pens and papers, because this is what I share with my unit. And even when people are brand new, I share a lot of this with them. So first, you want to know your number. So you want to know how many leads you're going to need to generate, because I think sometimes we're like, oh, I'll just, see what happens. And then we end up with like not enough leads. And so if you, for example, just to give you a couple numbers, if you book, 1 out of every 5 people that you contact, and you want to have at least 3 parties a week, then you're going to want to be getting at least about 30 leads, roughly. That way you can book 5 parties, because sometimes 50% of what we book holds, and so then you would be all set. And you might have a much higher number than that. For me, it's 80% of what I book holds, but you can track that and figure it out. And I know that Diane just went over a lot of the planning with you, so that's like perfect. So the second thing that I would say is to consistently have at least three different lead sources, and I'm going to kind of cover my top 4 in a minute, but that way. The reason that you want to have 3 different lead sources is that if you get a bad batch of leads, or maybe something happens in your restaurant you do every single week needs to shut down for a remodel, you have other leads coming in from other sources. And then I would say you want to also make sure that while doing your lead generation, it is tracked in a way that you're not doing like 5 hours of lead generation every week. I would say maybe an hour of lead generation. And so again, I'll cover that in just a minute and go over more of that in detail. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to just go over with you to take up the majority of the training is what my top 4 lead sources are, what I do, my scripts, all the things. And so again, this is what all of my my unit uses, and how we use them most efficiently. So the first thing I would say that I do a lot of is restaurant promos. And this is honestly, when I went into DIQ, this was like one of the main things that I did. I did this consistently every week. And so what it is the customer appreciation night. And so I will also make sure to get all the resources, everything I'm talking about, to Diane, so you guys don't have to worry about like writing, the scripts down a million miles a minute. So I would say what you want to do is make a list of 5 to 10 different restaurants in your area that you could go in and ask. And so that way you're not kind of just driving around looking for something. So I would write them down, you guys, just to kind of give you a few that's always worked for me. Like when I went to visit my mom in Ohio, and when I've gone to visit family in New York, I called the Applebee's and I got them already booked before I went. So like Applebee's is a good one, Chili's, Old Chicago, Old Navy, those are all ones that I have worked with and still work with. And so also small business restaurants or privately owned restaurants are a good one, because that way they don't have to go through corporate. So you're going to get a yes a lot faster. So, yes, because oftentimes with the chains, they have to go through the GM, which is okay. Don't get discouraged about that. You just have to follow up with them. I have an email that I actually send out to the GM, which I will give Diane for y'all. That works really well if they want to know more information about it. A few things you're going to want to make sure to do before you go in. Of course, dress professionally, which I know we all know that, but just, we're going to be representing their company as well as our business. And so, skirt or dress when you go in to ask. You can call them, like if you have to, if I'm traveling somewhere and I want to work in a different state, of course I have to call them, but I do recommend to go in person. It just speaks a lot about who you are and how you represent your business. So that would be the first thing. The next thing is when you do go in to ask them about the restaurant promotion, to take in a business card with you. It's very professional when, you go to leave and you say, here's my card if you have any other questions or anyways like that. So this is what I do, you guys. This is literally, I walk in, this is exactly what I do. I actually did a live video in my unit one time. I hid my phone in my purse and showed them exactly what it was. So I go in to the restaurant, I walk in, I say, hi, is there a GM available or a manager? If they ask who I am, I just say, I'm a local business owner in the area. And then they go grab them. And once they come out, I extend my hand with a big smile, because first impressions, we want to be excited. So I say hi, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a local business owner in the area with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And I wanted to come in today to see if y'all currently have a customer appreciation night for your customers. And usually they'll say no. They'll be like, okay, what is this? And so I say, okay, so what we do is we act as a hostess before the hostess, thanking your customers for choosing Giovanni's, and they get a flower from us. And they can also enter in to win a gift certificate with y'all, which is compliments of us, as well as a gift certificate with Mary Kay Cosmetics and a skincare beauty experience. It's totally free for you, and they do not have to enter in to get the flower. I don't solicit around their tables. I just stand up at the front where the hostess is. I've done this with many other restaurants, and it's created such a buzz. Does this sound like something you would like to have? And usually they will say, yes, it sounds awesome. And it goes one of two ways. They say, we need to ask the GM, or sometimes they will approve you right away. And sometimes they are just like, I want a little bit more information. And so if they say yes, then I say, okay, great. What is a good day that works well for you? And we nail down the time and the day. If they want more info, I will email them. If they say they need to talk to their GM, I'll email them. And then I just tell them that I will, send the email, and I ask them, when is a good time to follow up with you just to check in? Because usually a lot of times they don't call you, just like our customers, right? We have to reach out to them and be assertive. So I do that. And then after I actually go into the restaurant promo, I, at the end, will find them at the end of the promotion that I do. So that night when I'm actually in there, I will bring in a little gift, nothing huge, okay, just something little. If it's a guy, I'll bring in like one of the, like the skincare products for the men's line. If it's a woman, I'll give her a hand cream. And I just, say, thank you so much. We really loved it. Your customers loved it. I would love to come back, once a week or twice a month, and down. And then we can make sure we're consistently coming back. And so, so that's what I do for that. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over what you're going to need for the restaurant promotion and what I have found works most efficiently. So the first thing you're going to want is, and I'm sure you guys have something to the nature of this, but you're going to want to have entry forms. And then I just take a little clipboard like this in, and then just an entry form. Now, I don't hand them the clipboard because we want it in a restaurant promo. It goes fast. Sometimes people start coming in really quickly. So I will have like at least 2 to 3 of these with me. And then I write their names down. So, okay, what is your name and what's your phone number in case you win? And as the women are coming in, I didn't write this, but as the women are coming in, what I do is I just say, so I have these wooden roses. Okay, so I do wooden roses because they are a lot cheaper than regular flowers. And also you can spray them with perfume. So they smell really good, and women like them because it's different. So when the women come in, I'm in there, and I usually stand up there, and as they come in, I just say, hi, welcome to Applebee's. Here's a flower for you. We're giving away free pampering sessions and gift certificates. Just need your name and number. We're going to call the winners tomorrow. And then I just write down their name and number and say, have a great night, because they're hungry, right? And sometimes people get hangry. So we want to make sure to get them in and get them in quickly. And then I also catch the people as they go out. As they go out, I'll say, oh my gosh, ma'am, I didn't see you on your way in, but here's a flower for you. And I just explain everything the same way. And I have Voxers made up of me talking this way, so I can also give those to you, Diane, if you want those. So the wooden roses, so when you go in, you have entry forms, the clipboards, the wooden roses. I take a vase in with me, like a real vase, just to make it look, cute. And then we already talked about the GM at the end. I know this sounds like a lot, y'all, but it's really simple. It is so simple. And once you start doing it, it's so much fun, because the women come in, they're not just cold leads. You get to meet them, and they get to see you, and they remember you when you call them the next day. Really important to call them the next day, because the longer you wait, the more they will forget about it. So there's that. So that's the first thing. The next thing that I like for lead generation, which if those of you who are very busy are really going to love this. So our facial boxes. Okay. And so facial boxes are awesome because they work for you when you're not working. Now, there might be some of you out there who are like, I'm not creative. And I will tell you, you do not have to be creative to make these cute. I am not super creative. I try to be creative, but it's not always cute. But this is what I do, you guys. It's super simple. Here's my box. And what this is this is an old microdermabrasion box, okay? And so I say make it something that's cheap. So you can go to the dollar store, get a box for $1, whatever. And, we want it to look professional. So this is tape. This is literally like this tape that you can get at the dollar store. And then I have these already made up here, these entry forms, and then these signs. And if y'all don't already have access to these, I can also send these over. All I do is I put tape on the box, and obviously it looks like it's supposed to be real. I put my business card on the back of the box. I'm going to explain why in just a minute. And then I cut a hole in the top here. These are under construction. I just picked these up to fix them up a little bit. But anyways, so they're just 2 different kinds. And then all I do is I just go in, you guys, sometimes I'll have consultants that drop their facial boxes off and then they go back to pick them up. I'm like, no, leave them there. Just go in, take the facial entries out. And then that way it's always working for you. And then I just, you just take them out. I like to actually attach the pen to it so it doesn't disappear, because if the pen's not in here, so I hot glue this in here, and that's why, again, I dropped a new one off and picked this one up to fix it. But yeah, it's that simple, you guys, and we get an 80% discount at Office Depot. So if you're like, I don't have a printer, girl, it's like awesome. So that's that. And I just hot glue this stuff on there, and it's, you know, super easy. It does not have to be expensive. Some of you might be really creative and you can make them like really awesome and use glass jars, and that's great too. So anyways, and guys, I usually will have, if I go into 5 places and ask them, I usually have 1 in 5 say no. You know, Mary Kay is so reputable and it's professional. They trust Mary Kay. So that's the first thing. Again, just being, you know, professionally dressed. And this is what I say. So I go in and I just say, you know, hi, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a local business owner in the area with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I wanted to come in and see if y'all would like me to put my facial box in here for your customers to enter and to win a free facial. It's no cost to you, and I'll check it once a week. All of my information is on the back. And usually they're like, yeah, you can put it over here or there. A couple good places that I'll just tell you guys that I have boxes that work out really well for me. Nail salons, oh my goodness, nail salons. I have them in a lot of nail salons, brow places, lash places. I usually don't go in if they, even some of them though, like if they just do like the waxing and stuff, they'll let you put your box in there. Flower shops, gyms, I have them in edible arrangements. I mean, you guys everywhere, any of those little places that have those little strip malls. Okay, so the next thing that I will go over is referrals. And you guys, this is so good, because really the thing that only takes up my time is just picking up and checking the facial boxes, which takes like 10 to 15 minutes, just depending on how far apart they are. And then the restaurant promo, I usually do that for like 45 minutes-ish. And then the referrals, you're doing this in your parties. So yay, that's like not taking a whole lot of extra time. So referrals. So I play a referral party in my game, and hopefully y'all do too, in my party, not my game. And so what I do is I say, okay, guys, we have one more game we're going to play. Go, and everybody does this a little bit different. So this is just how I do it, but I just say, okay, guys, go ahead and flip your paper over to the back. And I say, I'm going to play a song on my phone, and you're going to write down as many names and numbers as you can of women that you know that deserve pampering, that they are self-starters, like, you know, whatever, just name off different things that you would like for, you know, to get referrals for. And I say, whoever has the most at the end of the song is going to get 5 extra tickets into the drawing. But if you're really competitive and you write down at least 3 women with the following qualities and write that quality next to each woman, you're going to get a bonus of 3 extra tickets. And so usually I'll say, you know, a woman who's a self-starter, a woman who has good energy, somebody who's competitive, somebody who's really kind. And, you know, so that's what I'll say. And then they just get extra tickets into the drawing that I'm doing. And they all do that. And I do say to them, I'm like, guys, we're not Scary K. Okay. I text your person, but I'm not going to, you know, call them 500 times or anything like that. So just to kind of put a little fun little joke into it, that way they know that I care that, you know, they're referring them. Okay, so my 4th way to generate leads that I love the most is vendor events. And you guys, this is perfect timing because it is fall and winter and, you know, going into Christmas. And so there are vendor events everywhere. We actually just did a vendor event and we got like 150 leads from that. So a couple of pointers that I will say that you want to look for with vendor events is you want to make sure that it's something that is not like necessarily the first year they're doing it. And so you want to find something like, oh, this is our 3rd annual. And that way you know how much foot traffic is going to get through there. And you're not going to something that nobody knows about or hasn't been advertised very well. It's going to be a good turnout. You also want to make sure the price isn't too high. So if it's like, you know, $200, I usually split that between 2 to 3 or 4 consultants, depending on how long it is. So you want to kind of weigh the you know, the price of it and how long it is and how many people are going to be coming through. And you guys, all I do is a drawing. I love vendor events because you just get to sit there and people watch. And I love being like, oh my gosh, I want her to join. And by the way, if you ever do a vendor event where you're like, oh my goodness, like there's nobody coming through here, I always get up, I get my pen and my tablet or my clipboard, and I go around to all the vendors and I'm like, oh my gosh, excuse me, I am actually raffling off you know, an extra free pampering session for all of our vendors. If you would like to enter, we're going to call the winner tomorrow. It's going to be different from the other drawing that we're doing. And so that works really well. I usually get almost all of the vendors to enter that way. And so there's that. I usually just have some candy on the table. I have just my facial boxes there. I have the starter kit, maybe the satin hands. Some people do like a game, like you can make like a spinning wheel game. There's so many ideas. Like if you went to Pinterest and just typed in vendor events, Mary Kay, I'm sure you could see a million different ideas for that. But I just have the starter kit there. And as the women walk by, you do need to be assertive, you all. So you just, as they walk by, I'm just like, we're giving away free pampering sessions and gift certificates. Just need your name and number. We're going to call the winner tomorrow. And if you're happy and excited, like they're going to be happy and excited and they're going to want to enter. And so it's contagious. And it might feel silly initially to you, but like really they get excited. And again, they remember you and they want to be in your space because they're like, this woman is like really happy. So I want to be really happy. Right. So yeah, that's all I do. And I love always going into these and just be like, I am going to get more leads than I did the last time. It's so much fun. So I hope I didn't miss anything, and I hope that was helpful, you guys. I love lead generating and meeting new people. And of course, like Diane was saying, like a lot of you have customers already in, what you're doing. And especially with the new Miracle set, oh my goodness, it's just like such an incredible opportunity for us to be able to reach out to people and be like, girl, you need an updated facial. Like I just booked a couple of people the other day for that. So if you already have people in your customer base, then definitely reaching out to them and just being like, just explain to them, like, we have a whole new line. I would love to give you an updated facial. And if you have a few friends, then there's some extra perks for that to get your mascara for free. You wanted to reorder. But anyways, that's what I would say. And when you call some of these people, the other thing I will just touch on really quick is that when you call some of these people, when you're generating, maybe you're new, or maybe this is the first time you're going to be really generating leads. There's going to be people that don't answer or say no or whatever, and that's okay. It's the numbers, you guys. It is the numbers. So if you are generating 30 leads a week, like you're going to get a lot of parties on your books. And so just keep going and pushing through and reaching out to them. I promise the ones that say yes are so worth it. And so when I get a no, I always get excited to call more people, and I don't stop until I get like 1 or 2 more yeses. And you guys, you feel so good. Like I had a consultant that was kind of in a funk, and she was like, I was like, girl, what if we just gonna book a couple parties? She booked 4 parties, and she's like, I'm so excited. So nothing is gonna get you back getting, on the horse than that. And make sure to track the leads. And so it becomes a habit. If you can do it for 30 days, you guys, if you can say, I'm gonna get this many leads every week for 30 days, and you do that, you will build that as a habit, and it will just become normal to you. And then you won't even second guess it. It's only hard for the beginning part of it. And I'll just leave you guys with this. It's something I say to myself every day in the morning. And when I get frustrated, Leah actually sent this to me in the mail, and I love it. But I say every day, success in life comes to me because I simply refuse to give up. My goals are so strong that obstacles, failure, and loss only act as motivation. So live fearlessly, my friends, and go out and get those leads because there are women that are waiting for you. I hope that helped.
Jocelyn, absolutely helped. That was fantastic. There was so much great stuff there. And you're going to send me the scripts and things? Yeah? Okay. Yes. Okay, because then, so everybody, I will post that to our Facebook group. Okay, for Pacesetters, that you have access to all of that. And if you have any questions, you can post them there as well. And I'm sure I can reach out to Jocelyn and get answers. But Jocelyn, thank you so very much for spending time with us and taking the time to hop on and just pour into everybody. I so appreciate you, and I can't wait to spend time with you when I come out to Reno for the fall retreat.
Yes, awesome.
So I will see you soon. Thank you so very much.
All right, bye guys.
All right, so you guys, hopefully that was helpful. So nobody can say they don't have leads, because now you have everything you need to go out and to just really rock things and make it happen. All right, so let's keep talking about lead generation, because there are other things that you can be doing as you're growing your business. And one of the sales directors in our national area, Kim Davis, I just love Kim. I love her heart. I love her work ethic. I love how smart she is in growing her business. And she is going to share with you some ideas that she has done for outside hostesses and silent hostesses, because not only can those bring you sales, but they can bring you a wealth of contacts through those relationships. So Kim, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right, yay! So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. That was all great stuff from Jocelyn. I'm so excited. I took a lot of notes. So thank you for that. So yeah, the first thing I want to just talk quickly about is the power of some outside orders, because I think sometimes we focus so much on getting RSVPs and knowing who's actually physically coming to a party that sometimes we forget that even people that RSVP that they can't come, that they could still place an order. And that helps your hostess to get to the next level of success for them if you're running a hostess program, or even team members, as you're supporting your team members, your sister consultants, that you could help them get to their next level of success. So outside orders are always great, and it's never a bad thing to ask for those, right? And then the other thing is the outside hostess or silent hostess program. I love this because it's totally work that's kind of happening in the background while you're hustling, right? So as you're kind of holding parties and seeing faces, that these outside hostesses can be working to your advantage as well. And sometimes people don't want to host, right? There's various reasons why people choose not to host. I think we've all talked about that before. And they don't have to host. They can just bring a book with them. And I tell my outside hostesses, bring the book with you to work, bring it to church, bring it to soccer, the soccer field, right? Kids, school starting. So kids are everywhere right now. So bring your catalog with you. And I put together a kit for them. So I have a bunch of stuff. And if Diane, you want to, I can send anything to you to post. But I send a letter. Okay, and I'll quickly read to you what's on my letter. And it just says, thank you for helping me by being an outside hostess. Take a catalog and share it with friends, family, coworkers, even men. They love Mary Kay. Samples are included so people can try. Ask the customer to fill out an order form, list the products, and calculate the total, including your sales tax. Be sure they include their contact information in case I have any questions for them and so that I can follow up after. Payment due at time of order, and I do take cash, check, or credit debit cards are accepted. And then I have what's in it for you, and I do 20% of total sales for my outside hostesses, which is kind of like the max if you are doing the company's hostess program. So I say, that's right. When you collect orders, you are enrolled into my hostess program, and you get a gift card to spend on anything you want equal to 20% of the sales. So sell $100, get a $20 gift card. Sell $1,000 and get a $200 gift card, free products. And then I always put at the bottom of the form, all orders must be submitted to me by, and I put a date so that she kind of strategically knows when we want to wrap this up. And I only let them hold it usually for 7 days. Sometimes I'll go 10 if we're covering like the span of 2 different weekends, so that it's not like I've given it to them and now I don't know when I'm getting that form back. So we do that, a letter. And then I always put fun, fast facts about the Mary Kay opportunity. And so on here, you've got things, how do we make money in Mary Kay, reasons we choose to start a Mary Kay business, in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and how do you get started. So it's lots of information because we don't want to skip that part, right? Because you never know who's going to be looking at her folder, her catalog, and she's going to see that. And then the company does have some flyers too that you can get, starter kit, what's in the bag, success is in the bag, and lots of things about how Mary Kay makes women feel important and empowered and stuff. And I think that's really powerful. You always want to include sales slips. And when you, on the letter, it says specifically to have them fill out the contact information. That's all the stuff that you're going to need for follow-up. So when you get those back, make sure all of that is filled out. And then a catalog, of course, always put your information on the catalog so that anybody who's seeing that will know how to contact you if needed. And a lot of times I've had people contact me directly and they're like, oh yeah, I just took a photo with my phone of the back of the catalog that had your contact information. So it really helps to put that on there. And then I always include some business cards and a goodie bag of samples. Now you can do samples if you want or not, but I find that it kind of helps people to just have something to show around because, you know, we do try before we buy, right? So that's like the glory of Mary Kay. So in here I put some foundation primer samples. I put the hand cream, the small hand cream, because not only does that tell them what our satin hand smells like, but also our lips. And so I think it's great for people to have that. And then just a whole bunch of stuff like eyeshadows and blushes and mascara, just a whole little litany of stuff that I put in a little organza bag for them. And so what my package looks like. It's just a folder, simple. You know, it's school supply time. You can get these really inexpensive out there. And then all the stuff is in here, and it's a complete little packet with the pen, and she can take that around with her. I think the great thing is that while it's working kind of in the background, it helps you, the consultant, to get to the next level that you're trying to reach. So if you're shooting for STAR, which couple days, September 15th. If you're looking for All-Star, if you're trying to finish a Court of Sales, all of these kind of things that are working in the background are super helpful. And then the logistics of that letter tell her when to get it back to you, and then you take it upon yourself to follow up with all of those customers, because you're going to be delivering. And so you want to make sure that you're connecting with them, because all of those people that have ordered, your follow-up is going to lead to reorders. It's going to lead to new customers. It's going to lead to future hostesses, because they can now get enrolled and get 20% for themselves, and team members, right? Because you never know who's seen that flyer about that opportunity. So I think that they certainly have worked for me, and some of my consultants in my unit have done it as well, and we've seen some great success with that. So I don't know if you have any questions for me, but that's about it.
So if you're doing this packet you're giving to everybody who is doing a party with you or booking an appointment, am I right?
Yep.
So that she can get outside orders. What about somebody who doesn't want to host a party, but she's willing to get outside orders and be an outside hostess? Do you do that much? What would you say is the percentage?
I think I offer that only when I've tried to physically book, because that's where I want to be. I want to be in front of people.
Yep.
And I want to be in front of her people.
Yep.
And so when that's not going to kind of work out, that's when I would offer the outside hostess. And I probably have, of the people that I offer that to, probably 2 out of 3 will take the packet. Not all of them will work the packet. And that really comes from my follow-up with them, keeping in contact with them, so that when I give them the packet, I also ask their permission. I say, so now we're partnering to get you 20%. I want you to get XYZ if they're working for something specific, that microdermabrasion or whatever it is. And so I say, I want to partner with you. And so I want to make this as successful as it possibly can for you. Is it okay if I, reach out? And we just touch base every couple days, so that I know that if you have any questions or anything that I can help you with, I'm there for you, and we can work together. So not everybody is responsive. So I do have packets that kind of go out the door and I don't hear from them. But even some of those have resulted from orders from the person who took the packet, because now they've got a litany of my information that they sometimes call back and say, oh, I didn't buy, but I want to now. So it doesn't go out void.
So let me ask you, because I'm sure somebody might be thinking it. What do you say to them? Say you're trying to book them and they say, no, I'm not able to. What do you say to them to start initiating the conversation?
Okay. So if we've discussed that and they said that they're not hosting, I always say, well, I have this other thing that I like to do with people who can't physically host a party, but I know that you probably know at least 5 women that I don't know. And so I would love for you to take one of my packages. We call it an outside hostess, and take my package. It has some samples. It has a catalog in there. It's got some great information about not only the Mary Kay products, but the opportunity, and just share it with 5 or 6 women that you know, and see if you can collect any orders. And then by doing that, you would still get enrolled in my hostess program, even though you're physically not holding a party with snacks.
Okay, so that's awesome. And so say somebody gets 10 orders. What do you do with those 10 orders other than filling the product? What kind of communication or relationship building steps do you start taking with those people?
Okay. Sometimes the orders, you need to contact them because they've forgotten to write down normal to dry or combination. They just, they're buying a miracle set. So that's a great conversation starter, because you can, connect with them and say, hey, this is Kim. Generally, I will attempt to call them and leave a voicemail followed up by a text, just like we would for a lead when we're booking, so that we're getting every point of contact. But I would contact them and just say, hey, this is Kim with Mary Kay. I'm super excited. I received your order from Susie. She got those all back to me, and I'm super excited to get you your products and then get your opinion of what you think of them. So what's best for delivery, I give them a couple different dates. And then if they have any further questions, we just dialogue that through. And then when I deliver, sometimes I'm not seeing face to face, right? Because sometimes people are like, leave it hanging on my door, or so I always follow up to make sure that they received it. It gives me an opportunity to talk to them again. And then, and if I see them face to face, I always say, these products, I'm super excited that you've gotten whatever it is, but I always want to make sure that they're working for you. That's part of my service that I provide. So I will be contacting you in 1 or 2 days to make sure that you've got the order of application down and all of your questions can be answered. Is that okay? And I just follow up that way. So then that kind of starts to build the rapport. And then I ask them if they're interested in getting, some free products themselves, like Susie did, and then go from there into a booking process.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, good. I think that was all really, really great information. I appreciate that, Kim. And you're going to send me the documents so that I can post them to the Facebook group?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. So a little bit more. So hopefully that is building your arsenal and giving you some ideas and ways that you can tweak your business and what you're currently doing. Okay, so I have somebody else who is going to share with you, and it is none other than Megan Santos, another sales director in our national area. And she's going to talk about some other things with lead gen. So it might be new, or it might be something that you're able to tweak based on what you're doing. So Megan, thanks for being on with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes. All right, it is yours.
Okay, so you can hear me and see me, correct? Yes. Okay. So Jocelyn was amazing, and so is Kim. So I'm going to touch base on a little more about what Jocelyn said, just because they work and from my experience. So I'll just tweak it a little bit from what she said. So I'm gonna I love how she said you should have 3 to 5 sources of different leads constantly. And in Diane's area, we always say that we should have at least 50 new leads or referrals a week. So if you're holding parties, you're going to be getting those. So I'm going to run through what we do. So especially in my unit as well. So we play the fabulous game. If you guys are all familiar with that. This is amazing. It's a sheet of paper that has 24 slots. And it gives suggestions on some certain women that people know, right? And so when do I play this in our skincare class? I do it after everybody's done half their face and they're feeling good and they just gave each other compliments, okay? So they're loving the product, they're loving how it looks on their face, so they're gonna wanna share it with everybody they know. So basically what I do is I hold up this piece of paper and I say, okay, I don't know if you know this, but Mary Kay is based on referrals. We do not go door to door, so we need your friends. And if you can come up with 24 names of women that would enjoy something like this from you, you actually get to walk out of here with a free eyeshadow. And so from my experience, the rushing of the games, people just like slather things down and you can't really read them. And so I want to be able to read these referrals. So I chose to give something away so they're earning it, right? And so they take their time and they write nice and neat and everything like that. And so then you know who the competitive people are. And then I say you get a ticket for every person you do put down, because a lot of people don't know 24 people, but they still have the opportunity to win something. And then I say, if I meet with anybody on this paper, you actually get a $5 gift card for every person I do meet with as a thank you for referring them to me. And so that's towards a future purchase. And usually you have the competitive people and you're going to walk out of a skincare class, because a skincare class should be 4 to 5 people, right? You're going to have over 100 leads. I can guarantee that. I have thousands of leads I haven't even touched yet, ladies. So I just love it. It's a fast way. So especially if you're holding appointments, that's like the #1 way of getting referrals for the week. So I love that. And if you do too, you guys, it's a bubble sheet. Did you know that? And so you're going to have 10 appointments booked and 5 are going to hold. So how amazing is that? All right, so the next one is the facial boxes. But what I've been doing, which are wonderful, I've been actually doing facial frames. So these are my facial frames that I do. And what it says is text to win a pampering session along with a shopping spree. And then it says text, why not me? And then the number 1 to my phone number. And now why do I do the facial frames? Well, I've been working outside of my area. And so I don't have time to drive back and forth and pick up those leads. And so it's actually working for me when I'm 4 states away. Okay. So I did this when I started working in Florida. I knew nobody. I mean, I knew people, but people weren't helping me. So I had to go out and start my own business in Florida. Right. So I actually got 10 of these out. I suggest 7 to 10. 1 or 2 is not going to work because you don't know the area and which places are going to be productive. And so literally I write on a piece of paper 1 to 10, and then all my frames have a 1, 2, 3, or 5. So I know where my texts are coming from. And I actually was very specific and did all nail salons in the area I was working. So I knew which nail salons were hopping and which ones were not. So that was really good. So I love that. Obviously, the fish bowls and the facial boxes that Jocelyn were talking about, those are good too. So it really depends on the area that you're at. But I would suggest trying both to see what works for you. I think with the younger generation, they're going to text more rather than fill out. That's just from my experience. And then what we do in our national area, I don't have the piece of paper in front of me, but I'm sure, Diane, you can post it or whatever. It's the scavenger hunt. And so a lot of women like this. It's definitely getting out of your comfort zone because you have to go and talk to people, right? But fun places to do it. And it's always fun to do it with somebody in from your team. If you're building your team, do it with someone from your team. If not, someone in your unit or perhaps your director that would go out with you and show you how it's done. And basically, you guys are on a scavenger hunt and you're looking for women that have the clues on it. And you're literally just walking up to them. And this is what I used to say when I was working with my girls. Oh my gosh, has anyone come up to you yet with the scavenger hunt? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, and we'll be like, there's like 5 of us and we have to earn a prize. So I need you to fill this out for me. If you just put your name and number down, you get a free pampering session. And then at the end of the day, the woman with the most actually gets a prize from our director. And so they're all excited because they're like looking around to see if the other person's coming. And so it's fun that way. But places that we go to do that is the grocery stores. And I tell women that if they're going shopping, like my consultants, to keep it in their purse because everybody has to go to the grocery store, right? And so that's an amazing time to do it also. You can pretend that you're doing it with somebody or not, but that is a good time to do it. Malls, fun runs. If you guys are familiar with the fun runs, it's that time of year. That would be a good time to do it. And then lunchtime. So like I was in Virginia for a while, so it's nice and warm for a long time. So office parks, people are out walking during their lunch times. That's a great place. We had good luck with that as well. But yeah, and if you don't have anybody to run with, it's time to start building your team and get your first partner and running with them. So just remember that. It's a lot of fun when you're with somebody doing it. And that's also true for lead gen events. It's always fun to do it with another person. So lead gen events, restaurants, like Jocelyn said, women's clothing stores, gyms, daycares. I did one for a professional development day for an office, and it was really fun because during their break, this woman had hired all these vendors, and they actually had to come around to each vendor and get a sticker, so you automatically got their names. I got 68 names in like 40 minutes, which was really awesome. So those are fun. So I would look into, if you work somewhere, see if they have a professional development day for where you work and see if you can be part of it. Bridal shows are also amazing. And the key is not to sit there and wait for the people, right? You definitely have to be assertive and go give them the entry form because that's how it's going to happen. You never want to ask them a yes or no question because the answer will always be no. And just be like, thanks for coming. I'm so glad you joined us today. Here's your entry form. And they fill it out and you hand it to them. It's as easy as that. It really is. All right, so then my favorite that I love to do, I do this with my new consultants to get them out in their community. And so we do office twirling. And what I bring, I prefer fresh roses, so I always grab those. at a cheap grocery store. You can get them on sale really cheap, which is great. And then I'm going to have a goodie bag. So my goodie bags range all different. Right now, it's this. It literally just says you are incredibly awesome with a little sticker. And I have 2 mints, a lip gloss, a botanical cloth, and my business card. I love the new little business cards. Do you guys like see these little square ones? They're really awesome. So I have that. And what I do, and then I have my sticky notes. And I basically go and bless working women. You can bless them. They can be blessed. They can be honoring working women. Whatever words you choose and can get excited about, that's what you're going to use. And so basically, I walk in, and these are the places I go. I usually do it on a Monday because nobody likes to go to work on a Monday, and I love Mondays. So that's fun for me on Mondays. So I go to banks, I go to hotels, I go to realtor offices, I go to dentist offices, I go to boutiques. And normally there's women working at all of those. Hotels are really fun. They really love it. So I walk in, I have all my roses. You can use the wooden roses too, that Jocelyn said. I know a lot of people use that, especially with our new fragrance that's coming out. So that would be perfect. So I have my roses, I have my goodie bags, and I have my sticky notes. And basically I walk up to the woman and I say, hi, I'm Megan. I'm here to bless working women today. What you receive is this beautiful rose. What color would you like? Because I usually have 2 for them to choose from. And you get this goodie bag, and you also get entered into a free pampering session. I just need your name and number to call you for your appointment. And they literally, boom, they write it down. But you know what? I was kind of, when we used to do, oh, your name goes into a free raffle, it just didn't sit right with me, okay? Because I like to be honest and do things right. So everybody's a winner. And this is the way everybody can be a winner, because you're just saying you also get to enjoy a free pampering session, and I just need your name and number to book your appointment. So they all know going in that they're going to get a free pampering session. And you should see their faces, you guys, because obviously they were never recognized at work. And so I usually get 24 names in 15 to 30 minutes, and love that. So I know I talk fast, but that's what I do.
Awesome. That's fabulous, Megan. So again, more great ideas. Yeah. So Megan, can you, any of the documents, anything, the scavenger hunt, all of that, can you send that to me to post?
I can.
And I can put it in the files in the Pacesetters group. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys. So I don't think anyone can ever say they don't have ideas or ways to get leads. So you've learned a ton tonight, and this is going to be a great start as we get things going on our vouchers, excuse me, this week. So you have plenty that you can take advantage of, okay? So hold on 1 second, and okay, make sure I got everybody. Kim, Jocelyn, Megan, yes. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is start finish. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6 full days to the star quarter finish. And I am believing that every single person in this Pacesetters program is finishing their star this quarter. No matter what you have in, no matter where you are going to be a star, because this is your only chance at an all-star this year. And you guys, if you really want to walk your talk and get your business going, star is a necessity. You know, there were many times along my journey, from brand new consultant to sales director to national sales director, there were moments that my business was not performing, or I should say, it wasn't my business, it was me. I was not performing at the level that I needed to, at the level that I wanted to. And so there were times that I had to learn the lesson, and I had to hustle my little hiney off in order to get star done. And there were times that I had to invest in my business to get star done. And there were times that I had to sacrifice my profits from my sales in order to get star done. There were times, but gradually I learned my lessons, and I was a star every quarter as a consultant and as a sales director. I was a star consultant every quarter because I knew that this was a business. And if I was going to treat it like a business so it could pay me like a business, I had to be a star. And so I just say that to every single one of you, that if you don't have a plan for how you're finishing star, and if before you got on this Pacesetters, you thought, oh, you know what, I'm just going to have to start fresh in the new quarter, don't do that. I want you to reach out to your sales director, get a plan, and work your plan. Because see, a decided mind cannot be stopped. And you just have to make the decision that you're getting it done, and not getting it done is not an option. If you don't have product inventory on your shelf, invest and get it on your shelf to finish star, because you can't sell from an empty wagon. I don't care what anybody says. You will sell more product. You will be more vested and into your business when you have something to sell. If you do have product inventory, sell whatever you need to finish, and don't take profit if necessary. You know, if you think about it, even if you don't have $1 in this quarter, and I'm sure you do, but even if you didn't, sell 18 3D miracle sets. You know, what can you do in these last 6 days to sell 18 of them? Offer a deal to current customers to make it worth their while. You know, have them reorder now for your goal, and give them a free charcoal mask or a free CC cream. So long as they order theirs by the 15th. It's getting faces. It's working with a sense of urgency. It's doing whatever it takes in order for you to finish star and to set yourself up for success. It cannot be an option, you guys. It cannot be an option. You have to do whatever it takes to hit star this quarter. Stars drive cars. You know, that was always my motto. Stars drive cars. Everything happens when you're a star consultant. It's kind of it's not kind of, it is an accolade. It's an accolade that you have. And so you guys, dig in and get your star done. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is Mary Kay relevant? Is Mary Kay relevant? You know, I think sometimes people that aren't in Mary Kay wonder. We know Mary Kay's relevant. Of course it's relevant. But I think sometimes people outside don't. And I want to share something with you to empower you with words and some facts as you're team building and talking to people about Mary Kay. Is Mary Kay relevant? I think so often people walk through life and they think where they're at in life and what they're doing is good enough. But we know that good enough is the enemy of great. We know good enough is the enemy of great. And do you want to be good enough, or do you want to be great? So I want to share some statistics that may apply to you or somebody you love. And these relate to what's happening in the United States today. 68% of households today would be under financial duress with an unexpected bill of $500 or more in a month. And that's even households who earn over $100,000 a year. That was printed in a fact put out by CNBC and USA. Another fact, 7% of the population is prepared for retirement. 7%. Most haven't thought about it yet. That was printed in Success Magazine. Here's another one. The average college debt in America ranges from $60,000 to $80,000. And for those of you in college, or those of you who have kids in college, that doesn't surprise you, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. The average home in America has $16,000 to $18,000 in credit card debt. Here's another one. 50% of 30-year-olds are making less than their parents did at that age. And that's the first time in American history since the Great Depression that it's happened. That was printed in the Wall Street Journal. 50% of 30-year-olds are making less than their parents did at that same age. And it's the first time in American history since the Great Depression. And perhaps the most fun fact of all, almost 40% of Americans aged 18 to 34 years old are living with a relative. That was printed in the Wall Street Journal. Exciting, right? Especially if you're the 18 to 34-year-old or the person they're living with. Yeah. So people think we're doing okay in America. We have less than 3% unemployment. Yet we are at the highest level of underemployment. What's underemployment? People have jobs, but the jobs aren't paying enough to pay the bills. So is Mary Kay relevant? You bet it is. Do we have what people need? You bet we do. Do we owe it to women to share our opportunity? You bet. You bet. You know, the company gave everybody an amazing gift on the 1st of September. An amazing gift. Every new red jacket automatically gets a $100 bonus. And you guys, you know what's so crazy about that is I did the math. And with the $50 bonus, the changes that they gave us earlier, July 1st, when you add a personal new qualified team member, right, you get a $50 bonus as a consultant. So if you add, hear me out on this. If you add 3 new personal qualified team members this month, so each person does a $600 order, you're going to get $150 in bonus money. If that makes you a red jacket for the first time, you're going to get an extra $100 now. If you're in the first 4 months of your business, this is their first 4 months. So if you're in your first 4 months of the business, you're also going to get 3 $220 bundles of free products. So that's $660 of free product. So $100, $150, $50 for each of those 3 qualifieds, $100 for being a new red jacket, $660 in free product, and your commissions on those orders are going to be $72. That's a total of $982. We have what people want. We have it in products. We have it in our marketing plan. We just have to get out there and grow our businesses and our organizations, because not only is it going to bless your life, but it's going to bless so many others. The other great thing the company did was to help you in starting DIQ for those of you who want to move into leadership. Oh my gosh. All of your new team members, say you're more seasoned or even you're new, it doesn't matter. All of your team members that you're adding, they get to take advantage of all of those great start bonuses and free products, all of that good stuff, right? And meanwhile, you just keep focused on growing your personal team. They're growing their teams. And so not only do your team members come with you for DIQ, but their team members. What a gift our company gave everybody to help you prosper, but also to help you help others do the same. So you guys, is Mary Kay relevant? It's relevant more right now than it's ever been. But it takes all of us to get out there and share the wealth. And I am believing today is a new day. And today you have a new thought. And you are going to work with a sense of urgency and a level of commitment that you've never put forward in your business. Because we have what people need. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Get started on your voucher. I'll have the planner up tomorrow. I'll get the documents from our speakers and get them posted. And we will talk to you again next Sunday. So have a great rest of your night.